Hello, lovely people. It's me, Lucy, and I'm back. Where am I back from? Well, it's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video, honestly. I'm back living in Australia, which is a change. If you watched any of my previous videos, you know that I was living in the US for nearly 5 years. We lived in LA for 3.5 years, and then we moved to New York and we were there for a year, including 6 months of a pandemic, which was really fun living in Brooklyn. So we got to experience living in New York for about 6 months, and then shit went down. And so we decided to move back. So we are back in Australia, and I'm back on YouTube because why the hell not? Editing Lucy here. Because this is like the first video I've done in a very long time, so I'm really just getting used to not only editing again, but filming with this new camera. So firstly, I do disclose that I have the skin smoothing feature on the Sony camera switched on onto medium, and I definitely regret it. I think it's a bit much, and I don't know if I'll use it again, or maybe I'll put it on low or some other setting. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I don't ever airbrush my photos. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I always post, like, honestly, I just adjust the lighting a little bit, and my photos, you can always see the pores, you can sometimes see pimples and wrinkles, and I don't ever do that. So let's just watch this video for the makeup, and let's not comment on how overly airbrushed my skin looks, please, because I didn't want to have to refilm the video. I probably won't do it again. Second topic is my concealer shade. I'm not that tanned at the moment, and the concealer I used is a tiny bit too yellow. Unfortunately, it didn't look that bad when I was filming it, but after the fact, I mean, I think it's also combined with the skin smoothing. It doesn't look great. Those are my two explanations. Hope you understand, and we'll get there. We'll improve with the next videos, so let's keep watching. Editing Lucy, here to say that yeah, so my camera died and I didn't get to say which product I was using. I didn't know so much of it was deleted, otherwise I would have refilmed it. But anyway, this is what I'm using in the next clip. It is the Fluff Casual Cosmetics bronzer in golden, and I have a discount code. I'll put it in the description box down below. Let's get back into the video. Cool, so again, my camera just switched off. So this is basically how and where I've applied it with the Refa 19. So I define the cheekbones, I go all around the perimeter of the face, and then I also am going down the side of the nose, and a little bit on top of the nose for that sort of bronzed sun-kissed look, and then a little bit under the jawline. So I absolutely love this, and I do have a discount code which is in the description box below. So next I'm going to put on the lip oil so that by the time I finish this look my lips will be nice and moisturized. So this lip oil comes in a clear one and a tinted one. So this is the tinted one, and that is what it looks like. And I a lot of the time just use this, especially with like wearing masks and stuff. Most days I'll just pop this on and it goes with everything. Kind of pinky, kind of blushy, but also just kind of natural. For blush, I'm gonna go into this, which I recently unpacked from NARS, and it is the Overlust Cheek Palette, and I'm just gonna go for something very simple, and that is this pinky sort of one here. It's just a matte pink blush, and very lightly dust it. I say lightly, but it's actually super pigmented, so it's come out a little too intense here, but that's fine. Also going to put a tiny bit on my nose. so blush went a little bit overboard in that patch there. So what I like to do is get the brush that I use to apply my translucent powder. And just kind of buff around the edges. And at the same time, I also don't really care that much, so we'll just leave that and we'll move on. So now, I know that I'm going to use this Runway palette which has some green in it, so I know that this next highlighter that I'm going to use will look cool. But ultimately I know a lot of people leave blush and highlighter till after they've done their eyeshadow to make sure that it suits, but for me, I pretty much always use like a dusty pink or a peachy blush, and I think that both of those go with pretty much everything. I think if I was going to do something super orange or red, then maybe I'd be more considerate of which blush I use, but generally I feel like all the blushes I use go. So I'm going to now use this super duper highlighter. I am going to show you a swatch on my finger first because it's pretty amazing. Right? And I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand too, so you can see. So it looks very gold there, and then it has kind of like a bluey, see the grey shift here? You got to be careful with that on light skin, that's the only consideration. It can look a little dusty, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with my highlight having a multifaceted effect. So I'm using Refa 18, which is my dedicated highlighter brush too. It's quite a big one, but that's because wait till you see how I apply my highlighter. I go a little bit ham. So I start on the top of the cheekbones. Holy shit. And then I actually am going to take it right over the eyebrow because I haven't done my brows yet. And this is another reason why I like to do my highlighter first, because then I can get the highlighter like all the way over the brows, above and below, and then I can do the brows on top. Wow, no highlighter, highlighter, holy shit. I really love that. So I got another highlighter from them, which is actually more of like a blush topper, and maybe I'll use that in a future tutorial, but for now I'm just very lightly kind of putting it everywhere. I probably wouldn't use this on my nose. I just think it's a bit full on for my nose. So instead what I'm going to do is, by the way, in case you're wondering, I have a towel on my lap at all times when I do my makeup, and so I swirl the brush on my lap. If you see me sort of shaking, that's what I'm doing. I'm swirling the brush, cleaning it off before using another product. So I need to use a more natural highlight along my nose. This is an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to crack open the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne trio. It's very natural and shimmery, and I'm just going to probably use the middle light shimmery colour and just take that down the nose and on my finger, Cupid's bow, just a little bit, because sometimes a coloured highlighter is just not really right on the nose. So anyway, that's that, and this is the point at which I check, do I need more blush, do I need to blend it in, etc. Sometimes I take the blush brush with no new product on it and I just kind of make sure that the blush and the highlighter are connecting nicely, and this is where I go in with Old Faithful Urban Decay All Nighter. Spray a shitload of that on and let it dry. Okay, So the next product I'm going to use is my brows. I think I'm just going to do my brows and come back. If you would like to see a brow tutorial or a separate brow video of all the different ways I do my brows, then comment down below or send me a message on Instagram and I'll make it happen. But I think for now, I'm just going to come back with brows. See you in a minute. Okay, we are back and with brows. So what I used for my brows was this Real Her pencil. What is the shade? It doesn't actually say the shade on the pencil as far as I'm aware. Pretty sure, oh, I can tell you because I have spare ones. Clever. The shade that I bought is light. Again, they don't ship to Australia, but they told me that they are considering doing worldwide shipping soon, so that's cool. And then I used Glossier Boy Brow in Blonde over the top. They also don't ship to Australia, as I mentioned before. So it's just a super fun transition back to Australia, figuring out what I can still get. This brow color is slightly too orange for me, but the texture, formula, etc. is so good that I don't care. And I also try and sort of correct the color a little bit with this. Moving right along, I have many different ways I do my brows. Like I said, if you want to see a tutorial, then comment down below and I will do that. So now it's time to get into the eyeshadow, which is the fun part, and I'm going to have to pay extra special attention to the camera to make sure that it hasn't stopped recording. Let's just get straight into it. I'm going to have a little sip of my milk tea flavoured protein shake, which I discovered recently, which is bloody delicious. Yum. Okay, let's get started. So this is a 4-colour palette, and the size is probably similar to most square shadows. And I'm not going to talk too much about the actual quality of the shadows because I've spoken about that on Instagram. So if you want to see more about that, then definitely head over there. Today I'm really just going to get straight into it, do a look, and then talk about it after. So I'm going to concentrate on doing the look really quickly. I'll tell you which brushes I'm using, but I won't do too much talking while I'm actually, you know, in the zone. So, as always, I'm going to be using a bunch of different Rapha brushes. I think I'm probably going to use, I always end up using 15, 16, where's the number on this one? Has it disappeared? 2, 15, 16, 2, 14, yeah, that's probably, ooh, and 13. So these are my like literal favorite all-time brushes, and yes, they're a bit stained, and yes, I need to wash my brushes soon, but for now, let's just get into it. So, what did I do last time? Okay, so the first look I created on Instagram, I did put the green on the inner corner and it looked very, very cool. But this time I'm going to use the Work It shade number 13. Number 13 brush with the Work It shade. And I feel like I'm considering zooming in. Should I zoom in? It's probably helpful. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, okay. Zoomed in nice and close. So we're going to use the Work It shade. I can probably even just look straight into the camera. I'm going to use that on the inner corner, and I'm really just going into the socket all the way up. Look at me saying I wasn't going to talk, and I can't shut up. And I'm going sort of into the socket here. I'm not taking it up onto the brow itself. Same on the other eye, and I'm going to look down into my mirror to do this eye. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take the next biggest brush, which is Rapha 14, And I'm going to go to the green shade. And what am I going to do? This is me thinking. I'm saying I'm going to do this and I don't even know. Just going to go straight there. Check it down here. Okay, the camera stopped recording, which is super fun. But basically I'm keeping my head tipped back and I'm just letting this go into the crease. Putting most of the colour here, and then once it's off the brush, just really lightly blending the edges, not in circular motions, just in little swiping motions. Cool. Back to the previous brush and the work it colour, and bearing in mind, remember I used this highlighter which is already kind of greeny goldy, and I'm just going to go over the top of that with the work it shade and just really go ham on the brow bone. Cool. These metallics are really, really nice, or shimmers, or whatever the hell they are, but really nice. Now, what do I want to do? I'm going to use Refa 14 and this shade here, which is Fashion Baby. And I'm gonna, yeah, you'll see what I'm doing. Just putting it right into that outer corner crease, just in a blob. And then I'm going to relax my eye and just check the shape. Once there's less on the brush, I am lightly blending further onto the edge. And as always, letting my pitchy resting face kick in so that I can see what it looks like. Do the other eye. This is just such a nice mango shade. I really like it. Now under the eye, I'm going to go in with Move That Bitch and Refa 3, which is the tiniest brush. It's a beautiful sort of metallic watermelon shade. And yep, I'm just going to go under the eye. I think I'll do all the way along. And then I'm going to take this brush, which is 13, and go back with Fashion Baby, just a little bit. And starting at the outside, I'm just going to bring that underneath. Just to kind of give it an orangey edge. Another option could have been to put this down and then put the watermelon shade over the top, but I kind of sometimes like just dusting it around the edge so that the metallic isn't blending exactly with the matte. This is not a necessary step, it's an extra step, and honestly you can hardly tell, but to me it makes a difference at sort of just tying it all together. And now, final step using this palette, I'm going to take the Work It shade and just pop it into the inner corner with my finger. This shade is very, very creamy, so it definitely works better with your finger. Cool. Now you'll notice that I left some empty lid space here, and you could totally just leave it blank, but instead I'm going to use another one of my favorite products, which is from Bodyography. Let me grab it. Last time I did this look, I played around with Blue Morpho and Aura Glow, and looking at it today, I think that the pink would look really cool. So I'm going to use that. So that is called Aura Glow. These are really great. If you're in Australia, I have a 10% off code to Bodyography Australia, which I'll put in the description box. So that's what it looks like. And it has a little plastic piece here to keep it in place in its little jar. And I only use these with my fingers. I think it's pretty much the best way to use it. So that's what it looks like. Beautiful. And I'm just going to pop that into the empty space. And slightly blend it out. I also just realized that I had my lights on, so sorry about that, because I was using the light on the mirror. So here I am back in natural lighting with mascara on. I curled my lashes and I used Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir and Glossier on the bottom. I decided that this look doesn't need eyeliner, so I'm gonna wait to test these cut creaser brushes in a future video. So for now, the final product that I want to test is the Axiology Beauty Lid to Lip. Is it lid to lip? Yeah. No, lip to lid balmies. Anyway, and the one that I'm going to use is from the trio. So it's the darkest shade in this little trio. What are the shade names? This kind of color. You know what? Let me swatch them and decide which one to use based on that, because I'm not 100%. Well, actually this third one looks like a highlighter. So the one that I'm thinking of using with this look is, oh, okay, it's very, I need to, they're a little more kind of solid than I was imagining. Okay, and the next one is more pink, which I don't think will look very good with this look. Yeah. And then the third one is basically, I'm pretty sure it's a highlighter. So I'm thinking that this one, the more blushy one, will look good. So I'm going to give this a go. It feels really nice. I just want a little bit of colour. Just a little bit. It feels really, really nice. Bearing in mind I do have the lip oil already on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this tinted lip oil over the top again. I think this is a really good combo. Okay, and this is the final look, so thank you for making it this far in the video. and I'm really excited to film more videos and give you guys some tutorials and reviews and maybe some other personal stuff too. Of course, like all YouTubers say, please subscribe, switch on that little bell so that you can see when I upload new videos, and I hope to see you down below in the comments section. Bye!